The government has done a deal with the Greens to tighten the pension assets test. Around 90,000 retirees with non-home assets over $1 million will lose their part pension. Another 235,000 will have their pensions reduced. We're now joined by Social Services Minister Scott Morrison in Canberra. Scott Morrison, thanks very much for joining us. How do you console the more than 320,000 pensioners who will be worse off after this?
Well, let me add that there's 170,000 pensioners who are on a low level of assets, and they're getting an increase in their pension, some $30 a fortnight, and that's what the pension is for. The pension is for people who really need it. It's a welfare payment, it's a safety net payment, and to ensure that it's sustainable and fair, then we need to make sure that that's where the focus is. Now, for those on higher levels of assets, they will be able to draw on those assets because that's what they save to accumulate them for, and that's why there are tax incentives for superannuation. So people can draw on those savings, and what we will not be doing is we won't be taxing those savings. That's the Labor Party's policy. We are pleased that the Greens have seen the common sense and good policy of this initiative. Bill Shorten, all about politics once again. It's always politics trying to create chaos. The government's have-a-go budget is very much on the go.
OK, there are strings attached with this, though, with you agreeing to a Greens demand to look at retirement incomes. Does that mean you're willing to consider changes to tax arrangements for superannuation?
No, the government has made it very clear that we will not be putting increased taxes on people's superannuation, certainly in this term, and we have no plans to do it beyond that. And that was a very clear understanding between us and the Greens. We've agreed to have a process through the tax white paper for people to make submissions and stakeholders to be engaged on those issues. But the government's position on superannuation is crystal clear. We won't be taxing your super. That's Bill Shorten's policy.
OK, any more deals with the Greens in the future?
Well, there are other issues the government is talking to the Greens about, as well as the crossbench, and there are other matters to be pursued in relation to the budget, and we'll continue in that good faith process. What we've had here is the Greens and the crossbenchers, Senator Xenophon Leoholm, others, who have been very, I think, pragmatic and professional, engaging with the government on good policy. Bill Shorten's a wrecker, and I think that's why he's in political freefall.
Scott Morrison, thank you for your time.
Thanks very much.
Indonesian police has shown off